what is your plan with the club Bethel-Thompson?
Well, he's been cleared to play, so he's out here practicing, and the idea is that he's able, if he finishes the week, he's going to be able to start for us if he can finish the week, which that's the expectations. The reason he was cleared. So he looked good today, looked good yesterday when I seen him throw a little bit just to test it out, and I think we're ready to go.
Why is he a better option than?
He's won for us. He's a veteran in the league. Those are the reasons. I mean, at the end of the day, there's been, I think, one game we've won with him. The 2 other games came down to the last 13 and 16 seconds, and we could have finished those. We win. So it would have been 3 games where he started where we would have won. And he's won other games in this league. So that veteran presence, you don't buy. And I think he has it. And obviously, he was dealing with some stuff, and playing at the same time. And obviously, we sat him for a reason, and we knew it was going to be a timeline to get him back, and just thankful that the timeline is good for us. Where it wasn't going to be a season-ending thing. It was going to be a 4 to 6 week injury, and the 4-week mark is now, and they've cleared him to play, so it's a great thing.
Where do you think James Morgan fits into this equation?
Well, right now he'll be the backup. If we finish the week the way we're expecting it to, which is good for him too, because he got a lot of great experience the last 3 weeks. He was able to go into a game as a backup and play and understand what that's like. He was able to, on a short week, which is CFL is built on a lot of short weeks, being able to prepare for a game with 1 practice, and then he had a whole week of practice to see what it's like to be a professional quarterback and have to deal with everything that comes along with that, and then go out and play and deal with some inclement weather and deal with things not going perfectly and have to sit down, then go back in, and all those things. I mean, there's a lot of experience that James has earned, and going into the season, he was our 4th-string quarterback. So, with our 4th-string quarterback having that much experience, I think that bodes well for our whole team now.
If James would have offered maybe a better performance last week, would you have been more patient with the?
Well, I don't know if it's patience is the word. I think the timeline would have been the timeline. It would have still been a 4 to 6 week injury. He's able to come back at 4 weeks. Now, if you're saying, over the last 3 games, if James would have went out and lit it up, he still would have been back. It would just now we'd be evaluating a little bit differently. But the fact of the matter is that didn't happen. And Bethel is healthy, so he's been cleared to play. So obviously we're going to always go with the best option for us when we have those options available. That's how the whole roster is built on. When we have options, we pick the best 45. I've never been shy about saying that. So, obviously, had things gone differently over the last 3 weeks, if Bethel would be clear to come back, maybe he wouldn't have been the best option. But right now, the way we evaluate things, he is the best option. And so he just has to be ready to go this week and finish the week strong and then go from there. But I know this. I know James Morgan will be ready to play. And I know, again, I love the experience he's gotten over the last 3 weeks. I know he'll be a better quarterback because of it.
What does Bethel have to do, you think, to have more success? What maybe was coming
Well, I
short
mean,
in
again,
the
it's
previous
all the things that we talk about as a quarterback. Make good decisions, throw the ball accurately, and make plays when they're there to be made. And a quarterback play comes seemingly down to that. You protect the football, you make the throws that you need to make at opportune times, and you make great decisions all the time. And that's what you get judged on. And then ultimately, wins and losses happen. But wins and losses is a full team thing. Your decision making is not the full team; it's your decision. It's the quarterback's decision. But when you win, when you lose, we lose together. We don't lose just Bethel loses. Even though he does get attached to him, that's still a team thing. And but ultimately the things that I'm talking about, the accuracy, the decision making, there's a lot on his plate to do those things right. And some of that comes down to footwork, some of that comes down to understanding concepts, some of that comes down to experience in our offense, which I think there's been a lot of growth in there. But ultimately we all got to play better around him too. And I know there's been plenty of plays in those games where maybe there hasn't been a play made from somebody else, and obviously he gets more blame than credit at times. But ultimately, offense is a 12-man thing, and all 12 guys got to be doing their jobs to do it, and he's got a very important job.
How might you be a better coach than you were 5 games ago?
Well, I mean, I think you get better with experience. I think you learn from a lot of things. You start to, you're analyzing everything. You're looking at I'm always looking at the big picture and trying to read our team and improve upon different things. So I think every situation you get in, every year is different, and you can't face enough nothing. Well, adversity is one of them, but you can't face enough situations in this league. There's so many that come about. So you obviously grow from all of them. And adversity, I've never shied away from adversity. I don't think our team's shying away from adversity. We're looking at it as a big challenge. And obviously, we're going to have a say in all that. And it's just going to get back down to the things that we believe in, which is staying together, playing for each other, and continuing to work and believe. That's the big thing to me is, and I said it to you before, whether you've won 5 straight or lost 5 straight, does it matter for this week? Does it? No. It's just how you feel about it.
No, but I'm sure
But no, just listen to me. It's just how you feel about it, and how we feel about it. But you still have to get up every day, prepared to win the next game. And that's what it is for us. So you've just got to get rid of all that part and just say, hey, our focus is on us working and getting better. And ultimately, that's what our expectation is for us to do.
I always listen to you, but I dare say you would feel better going into Saskatchewan on 5 wins
question.
than you do
I
on
said
5
it today
losses.
to the guys. I said, the big difference between winning and losing is sleep. It's sleep. It's how you sleep at night. It's not waking up at 12:30 and 1 o'clock in the morning just because your brain's thinking about things of how to win. When you're winning, you tend to sleep through the night. When you're not, you kind of wake up throughout thinking about things. And I think that's human nature. That's just how it goes. But ultimately, today is no different than it would have been the other day. If we had won that game, we still have to show up today and still have to go into Saskatchewan and get a win. That's just, every week you're judged by that. So I love that. I love that part of football because every single day is a present. Every single day you get to stay in the moment and get better from it. And that's what we plan on doing, and that's what we always do.
So how are you sleeping these nights?
Well, obviously not as good as I would be with that, but I sleep good enough, and that's the bottom line. I push through everything just like our team does. We just keep pushing and keep working, and the work has to get done, and it's going to get done.
You must have looked at the run defense of the past 2 weeks, especially the last one against Hamilton. What have you seen that you can and need to?
Well, obviously, it's team defense first of all. Lowe can make a call, we need to play the defense call, and that means gap sound. Bottom line, deep stop and run is gap sound. You have to be gap sound on every single play. And I don't know that we were on every single play. And therefore, when you have a team that can exploit that, and teams can, when they hand the ball off, if you're not there, they hit that gap, it's going to be a game. Now, you do that, you fly to the ball, you tackle well, you do all those things, it helps. But it starts with gap control. And I know Noel's a big believer in that. So those are the things we need to shore up. We need to understand it. And I know this, 7+, 18% of the conversions against us last week. 6 and less, it was 75. So 1 yard is a big difference. And a gap can produce a yard. So I think our guys just have to have a better understanding of that. Also, teams want to run against us right now. That's what's working. So the last 3 weeks, it's worked. And our offense hasn't scored enough, and the games are close, so you can continue to run on all down and distances. So our guys got to be ready for it, but it's fixable. That's the best part. It is fixable, and our guys are working hard at doing that.
Thank you.
No problem.